Done.
Love all your money.
What do we want? Bankers. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Bankers. Ow! Oi, that hurt! Us bankers have feelings too, you know. Actually, truth be told, a small part of me is rather proud that the leaders of the world and all these demonstrators have converged on London just because of us bankers. The heads of 22 countries have come together to sort out the global economic crisis that everyone seems to be blaming on people like moi. Ow! Despite the global gathering, at times it seemed as if there were only two people at the party, as Prime Minister Brown and the real star of the show, President Obama, faced up to what was always going to be a tricky few days. But whatever G20 concluded, our PM was clearly thrilled to have hosted Obama's first European visit.
We're not going to agree on every point. I came here to put forward our ideas, but I also came here to listen, not to lecture. Having said that, we must not miss an opportunity to lead.
I think I've thrown the crusties off. President Sarkozy, meanwhile, has proved to be one of those pesky European leaders who's refused to sign up to Gordon and Obama's big spend plan to save the planet. And all along, the subtext was, who got us into this mess in the first place?
A compromise has to be engaged in by all parts of the world, all regions of the world. Especially as the crisis didn't actually spontaneously erupt in Europe, did it?
I'll have this, and if you could put in a paper bag, don't forget the receipt. Marvellous. Now, aside from the glamour of G20, domestic politics was getting a bit dirty this week. But what was the problem with Jacqui Smith's husband billing the great British public for 2 porn films? Thank you very much. Very nice. Because let's face it, a relaxed partner makes for a happier minister and better government. Surely. As Richard Dick Timney, alias Mr. Jacqui Smith, received an unsolicited call from a glamour model with a basket full of porn, it really couldn't get much worse for a Home Secretary who's never been the biggest fan of the sex industry.
I am really sorry for any embarrassment I have caused Jacqui.
Sorry? I'll bet he's sorry. Apparently, Ms. Smith has assigned Mr. Timney to sleep on the sofa for the foreseeable future. Oh well, at least he'll have the old remote control. Aside from the comedy value, Porngate means there's been no getting away from the issue of MPs' expenses, especially in a week that's seen them receive a hefty 2.3% pay rise and a sizable addition to their pension pots. Mr. Brown says he wants a wide-ranging review of parliamentary expenses to be fast-tracked. Not good enough, says David Cameron.
Frankly, I think the problem is we don't need another review. Look, let's be clear, this is exactly what happened last time. The Prime Minister supported a review, he sent it a letter, and when it came up with conclusions, actually he didn't in fact vote for those conclusions. The public are sick and tired of this situation.
That if we in this House are going to command public confidence for what we do, then we need to satisfy the Committee of Conduct on Standards in Public Life as well as ourselves.
Spare a tenner for a down-on-his-luck banker? Spare a tenner, someone? No wonder politicians are scared they're losing the public's confidence. This row about expenses has been going on since before Labour came to power. 2p? That ain't going to fill the Ferrari. It's getting increasingly tricky for mere mortals to know who or what to believe. City grandee turned city minister Lord Miners is a case in point. You see, the government has made my comrade Sir Fred Goodwin, the former chief executive of the Royal Bank of Scotland, a whipping boy for bankers' greed and incompetence, for ruining the business and then walking away with a fortune. And look at what happened to RBS in the city this week when rioters took revenge. Now Lord Miners has repeatedly claimed he knew nothing about Sir Fred's amazing payout, but a letter from Tom McKillop, the former RBS chairman, suggests the opposite.
Saying that the evidence that the Treasury Minister, Lord Miners, gave to the Select Committee was not an accurate account of how much the government knew about the size of Sir Fred Goodwin's pension. In other words, while the Prime Minister was pretending to be angry about the Goodwin pension, his hand-picked minister knew about it all along.
I know that the letter sent by Sir Tom McKillop has been published. We're considering that, and we will respond to it.
Now, in an ordinary week, the miners' scandal, the expenses saga would have been a great big pain in the neck for the government. But with the G20 circus in town, they've become a sideshow. And the main event? Well, the headlines were an agreement to tackle the global financial crisis with measures worth $1 trillion, a crackdown on bankers and hedge funds, and a squeeze on tax havens.
This is the day that the world came together to fight back against the global recession. Not with words, but with a plan for global recovery and for reform.
A triumph for Mr. Brown? For now, maybe. We still don't know if this global master plan will actually work. Time for me to get into my civvies and keep my head down. It's tough times ahead for us city types, poor little bankers. In fact, I'm thinking of an alternative career, something with a solid salary, long holidays, gold-plated pension, generous expenses. Any ideas?
Matthew, right, don't worry, he did pick everything up afterwards. We don't leave litter lying around on this